What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. In the midst of all of the excitement surrounding the Modern Warfare 3 launch and subsequent Season 1 release, we kind of forgot about the fact that there was supposed to be this major competitor to Call of Duty this year. A game that all of us tried out back in the summer. A beta that we all thought was going to be quite good. And then we even got a public test session where we were able to try the game out again and fall in love with it all over again. And unfortunately, what we've come to the conclusion of is that this game isn't launching anytime soon. I've been trying to find any type of information regarding XDefiant for the last few weeks, and I've come up empty. Until, of course, Mark Rubin released this tweet on December 5th. Hello all, I just wanted to share another update on the progress we've been making with XDefiant to get the game ready to go live. I know people were excited to play after the last test, and so I know it's tough having to wait. But we thank you all for hanging in there with us. We are just as eager to get the game in the hands of the players as you are. We truly can't wait to get the game live so we can shift focus to all the really cool content we have coming in our upcoming seasons. And that's a great update. That's a quick little, hey, we know you're eager. And honestly, we know what we're expecting from XDefiant in its first year of development. They already told us we're going to get 4 seasons coming each quarter. There are going to be 3 new maps, new operators, new modes. That's awesome. But when are we getting this game? Come on, Mark. Give us anything here. The quick update. Okay, so the quick version of the update. We are progressing really well in the changes we've outlined in previous posts. We will be spending the rest of this year finishing up on our work on the new party system, the new netcode changes, and switching all of our servers over to Linux. When we are back from the holidays, we'll be testing for submission, fixing any last-minute bugs, and then getting everything ready to go live. So far as everything is going smoothly, and we don't anticipate any issues. If you'd like to get more in the weeds of what we're working on, continue to read below. Before I get to the more in-depth stuff here, I just want to go over this quick update synopsis. What they are working on is trying to perfect their game. They're trying to ensure that their game can stand up to Call of Duty. Because if they released a game that was not ready, not prepared to compete directly with Call of Duty, it would fail. It would be a complete disaster for Ubisoft. So they are making the necessary steps to ensure the game can compete on every level with Call of Duty. And I think competition is healthy in this space. And we've been missing healthy competition for quite some time. With Halo Infinite not being great, with Battlefield 2042 not being great, Call of Duty has been able to exist on its own. And if XDefiant can live up to at least a little bit of the expectations they've set for themselves, I think we're in for an actual game that can compete with Call of Duty. On top of this, I believe that this game is going to be released sometime in March. Judging by the timelines here, I'm expecting it in early March, which is like perfect timing for Call of Duty lifecycle reasons, because that'll be right around the time where people are just itching for something new. They're putting the game away, they've done what they've needed to do, and they're just going to try something else out. And I'm all for it. And honestly, XDefiant might scratch that itch for the players. It might bring some players over from Call of Duty to it. And honestly, it could just be healthy for the entire community to have another game that we're all excited about. And leading up to the game, I'm hoping that they do some more public test sessions just so that we can have a chance to play the game again. That's all I want. I want to experience this game in all of its glory. I want the best for this game, and I really think we're going to have something special with XDefiant, just judging by how much it seems this development team seems to care about their project. Now, of course, we all want the game out as soon as possible, but I'd rather this game take the time and the effort to get it right than push it out and rush it and end up being a game like Cyberpunk 2077, which was a game that took several years to realize its true potential. I'd rather it come out of the gate as strong as possible. And the changes they were making are all big changes that the community had for the game. Firstly, the party system, and this is what Mark Rubin has to say about it. This has been the main blocker for launch. We can't go live if people can't party up with their friends. The party system we were using worked fine throughout development and in all of our testing. But when we tested it live, the crossplay aspect of it wouldn't hold up and would basically stop functioning. That's not something we were okay with prior to launch. Hence the delay. To solve this problem, we've been implementing a new party system that is being used in other Ubisoft games and has proven, and has been proven to work in a cross-play environment. Right out the gate, this is as transparent as they can be. The party system is not up to the standard of this community, is not up to the standard of AAA games, and we need it to work. We need the crossplay function to work, and we need players to be able to play with their friends. Having a social aspect to your game is massive, and this is what I want for XDefiant, and this is what I want for any game. The ability to be able to play with our friends. It's important, and I'm glad they're addressing it and making sure it works as intended from day one. I don't want to only play with my friends on PC. I want to be able to play with my friends on PlayStation and on Xbox. So, hoping for the best here. They also touch on netcode. In our last test, that was intended to be the final test before we launch. We found a critical bug in some of our third-party security software. It took us a little time to identify that as the culprit, but it has now been fixed. This bug was basically manifesting itself as a random frame spikes that were causing all sorts of weird issues when the game was live with lots of players. Netcode is something we will always be looking at for ways to improve the experience for players. Netcode is one of those things that I complain about and criticize Call of Duty for, and I criticized XDefiant when I played it in both the beta and the public test sections. So the fact that they are trying to optimize it as much as possible, again, is another good thing. These are all good things that are going to prepare XDefiant when they're ready to go live so that they compete directly with Call of Duty and can be successful at competing with Call of Duty. The last thing that they touch on here is the Linux servers. As we mentioned in past posts, we are taking advantage of this time to move all of our servers over to Linux. At this moment, that is all done. We just literally have one last bug to fix, and we should be good to go. This will improve some server stability as well as make servers scale up and down to handle load much, much faster. So it sounds as if they've taken all of that feedback we gave them through the beta, through public test sessions, and are applying it directly to the back end, ensuring that the overall experience that players have is as smooth as possible. You can always tweak weapon balance. You can always go and tweak different abilities that operators have. But what is much tougher to do is fix party systems, netcodes, and servers in live time. This is why it's a critical point for me with Call of Duty that they need to fix as soon as possible. And XDefiant is addressing it before the game even releases. This is how you ensure your game is in a healthy state from day one. Sure, there's going to be stuff you're going to need to fix. There's going to be problems. But the core of the game, the back end of the game, the bones of the game are in a strong place. You're focusing to give players a premium experience from day one, and I have to commend XDefiant for doing that. I know the game isn't in our hands yet, and I know the game's probably a few months away from being in our hands. But honestly, when it does become available to us, I think it's going to be a game we can all enjoy. Because it's clear to me that the people over at Ubisoft that are working on XDefiant are passionate about making the project as great as it possibly can be. It doesn't seem as if Ubisoft is dipping their greedy little fingers in it to try to worsen the experience. They're actually letting Mark Rubin and his team work independently from Ubisoft to ensure that this is a game that can stand up to Call of Duty and stand up to Activision. And it's in the best interest of Ubisoft that they have something that can compete directly with Activision's Call of Duty, and with EA's Battlefield, and with Microsoft's Halo Infinite. This is a good thing for Ubisoft. It is a good investment for them. And honestly, I'm hoping that all of this work, all of this time, all of this effort does not go to waste. I hope the game launches in the most steady state it possibly can, and I hope we have one of the best games in the first-person shooter genre that we've had in years. And also, I hope it pushes its competitors, the Halos, the Battlefields, and most importantly, the Call of Duties, to be as great as they possibly can be. Because competition is healthy for all of us, and it makes games better. So here's hoping 2024 is the year of XDefiant, and that we can finally play this game again. But that's all the time I have for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to XDefiant down below in that comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next one.